It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Lifelong dreams being elevated. Leave a nigga face down like he meditating. Growing up, trepidation in my locale. Hearing 40 cal, know somebody need resuscitation. I describe myself, nothing define me. Paper cut sharp, origami. Business in the iPhone, biting the apple like Shinigami. Death notes, every bar's like a homie. I'm the Clyde with a Bonnie. Rhythmalism, I'm too quick. New scripts, I'm producing them daily like news clips. Roof Chris, give me all of the beef, I'm a sous chef. Homies had them 8 balls for the grin like a pool stick. I learn my ingredients as I get older, more lenient. We use bitch niggas to be convenient. Need more cash, that's immediate, expedient. My experience teaching what I couldn't get from PBS. Freedom of the finance, read a pie graph, I take my pride back. Flip the color like a Mike Jack, niggas ain't like that. Take a name like it's Iraq, you diss me? Might stab a nigga with a wine glass, it's risky. Might crash, don't invite me to the function. I smash niggas pumpkins, all together conjunction. Southside nigga cooking up like it's a luncheon. We don't need a studio to get you niggas punched in. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this particular video, we're going to be going over Kendrick Lamar with his upcoming GNX tour. We have information and news about the sales for the tour. I've been seeing a little bit of hate circulating online, which is expected, of course, when you got these fan bases and stan bases going back and forth. Everybody's trying to find an angle. Everybody's looking for an end to be like, oh, look at this one. He ain't do this. He ain't do that. So I did see some hate coming from folks saying how the GNX tour wasn't selling, which I don't even understand who came up with that, because I never seen no such information. But now it has been reported that over 90% of the seats on the tour have been sold, which didn't fucking matter to me whether or not, because I was going anyway. The tickets been copped. So when they come to Atlanta, nigga gonna be in that bit. But nonetheless, you know, for the people that want to talk about the comparisons and who's doing what, this is just going to be proof and data to back up the nonsense that you was trying to spew, or at least to back you up from the nonsense that you were spewing. We even have a breakdown of some of the seating and the percentages and all of that stuff. If you want to see it, I'll pull it up. We also have DJ Mustard that's been added to the GNX tour. So as of now, we have Kendrick Lamar, we have SZA, they're co-headlining, and we have DJ Mustard. You know, the people for months have been waiting to see if Doechii is going to be added to that lineup. I'm still pulling for it. I'm still advocating for it. That's what I would like to see. I would love for her to open up the show. But sometimes we don't always get what we want, and either way it goes, I'm still going to be thoroughly entertained by SZA and Kendrick. So that's cool, but I would love for that to come out within the next week or so. You feel me? Especially since they're in the game of making announcements right now. Also in this video, we're going to play a clip from the Breakfast Club as they talk about Drake and his team. We just talked about this in the previous video. Drake and his team, you know, and the advent of them proceeding to remove the bot talk from the verbiage in their lawsuit, in their next amended claim, which has a April 16th deadline. So we'll give y'all their reaction to that being disseminated on social media and through the channels of people that were present in the courtroom, relinquishing information from that hearing yesterday. And again, Kendrick Lamar is not being sued, but Kendrick Lamar's music is under massive scrutiny, right? So all of those things will be covered in this video. So boom, here we have it. Touring data with the update, and they release information concerning pretty much all mainstream artist tours. So don't think that this account just popped up and started giving information out of nowhere. We don't know, it's unverifiable. They've been around, they've been reporting this, and people have been going by the numbers from this page for a minute. So let's not act glib today. All right, so they state Grand National Tour, Kendrick Lamar and SZA. They still have 93,322 tickets available in North America. However, that may sound like a big number, but that's across all available shows, right? At this point, they've sold 90.54% of their tickets So 20 out of 23 shows are sold out. Okay. They have a 49,000 estimated average capacity, meaning that each show in the average is going to be around 49,000. Some shows will be above that margin, others may be slightly less, but when you put all of them together, the estimated average capacity at each location at each night is a minimum of 49,000 people. Okay? And of course, the sales opened up on December 6th of 2024. It is now April 3rd, and they're moving massive units. Remember, a lot of people were saying, is Kendrick Lamar a big enough draw to be going out on a stadium tour? Most hip hop artists don't go out on a stadium tour. Is he able to hold it down on a stadium tour? Some people say, well, he tagged in SZA. Well, I don't even remember if her last tour was a stadium, to be honest, but maybe it was. But nonetheless, it's working. And I'm quite sure, even if she wasn't on that motherfucker, it would have still been pretty much the same result. But this is actually more entertaining. They've been on a duo tandem since the end of last year. They're continuing to keep that going. He's been letting SZA go out and do goddamn nighttime TV to talk about the shit. Smart, because she's more she has a higher capacity to come out, do interviews, do press and all that type of stuff. He gets to sit back, chill, be with the family, do what the fuck he need to do. I guess drop features in the studio. You know, nigga still been busy. But that's the stats. Now let's go ahead and pull up some more stats for people that want more proof. So here we've got a little bit more information, right? So up top we have the Dome in St. Louis. At this current point, they have about 5,500 tickets available. They've already sold over 47,000. So they're at an 88% sale rate. Soldier Field in Chicago, they have 133 tickets available. They've sold 51,000, going on 52. Right? They're at a 99.74 sale rate. You got Ford Field in Detroit. They have 2,048 tickets still available. They've sold over 50,000. They're at a 95% rate. Rogers Centers in Toronto, they have 4,475 still available. They've sold about 36,000. They're at an 87% sale rate. Okay. Next up, I guess day 2 in Toronto, not selling as fast. We'll see how that continues to go. They've got about 9,800 tickets still available. They're at a 72% rate, which is one of the lowest. But I guess most of the people were showing up for one day. They added day 2. We'll see how that one gets filled out as it gets closer to the date, because that still has time. Okay, next up, you got Hershey Park. They've got 287 tickets left. They're at a 98% sale rate. Northwest Stadium in Landover does not have the data submitted as of yet. Next up, we have US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. They have 4,900 tickets still available. They are at a 90% sale rate. NRG Stadium in Houston. Houston, what's going on? Y'all don't fuck with Kendrick Lamar out in Houston? What's up, Houstonians? They still have about 15,000 tickets available. That's like the majority of the tickets that's still out for the tour period, right? They're at a 66% sale rate, but I'm quite sure that will go up as well. We shall see. That is on the 23rd, though. Houston, y'all ain't fucking with Kendrick Lamar, okay? Look at my town, Mercedes-Benz, Atlanta. We got 2,700 left at a 94% sale rate. Shout out to Atlanta for doing their motherfucking job. Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. They have 2,300 left. They're at a 95% sale rate. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. They've got 5,200 left. They're at a 90% sale rate. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford. They have 16,000, almost 17,000 tickets still available. Wow, they're at a 70% sale rate on the first night. However, the second night only has 3,000 still available. They're at a 94% sale rate, so just got to get some more people interested in going on that first day. Let's see here. You got Gillette Stadium. They have 8,700 left. They're at an 84% sale rate. You got Lumen Field in Seattle. They only have 177 available left. They're at 99 percentile. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, they have 1,200 on day one, still available at a 97% sale rate. Second day in Inglewood at SoFi, they have 200 tickets left at a 99 sale rate. They have a third date there. They only have 100 tickets left at a 99% sale rate. So, not sure what's going on with that first night out there in Inglewood at the SoFi Stadium. Y'all got to finish that out, but y'all still doing y'all thizzle. You feel me? We don't have the stats for State Farm Stadium in Glendale, which is out there in Arizona. You got Oracle Park in San Francisco. They have 305 available tickets. They're at a 99% sale rate. And Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas is lagging behind a little bit. They got 8,800 still available. They're at an 82% sale rate. However, when you put all of that in totality, he sold over 90%, with more to come. I'm pretty sure everything will be close to sold out by the time show dates occur, but that's where we stand right now. One thing you probably can suggest is that the dates won't be canceled or postponed without any reasonable, reasons. But we'll continue with the show. And I meant to say reasonable explanation, not reasonable reasons. That's a double negative, ain't it? As stated earlier in the video, we also have DJ Mustard, aka Mustard here. He says, I'm joining Kendrick Lamar and SZA on the Grand National Tour. Had to look out for my fans. Cash App card holders have exclusive access to purchase newly released tickets on the floor. So I think that's very interesting that they have newly released tickets, which could probably and possibly contribute to some of the unsold tickets as they're newly released. So they went on sale, I believe, a couple days ago, 10 a.m. local time, grandnationaltour.com. He said, let's get to it, PG Lang, with a DJ set by Mustard to get things rolling, which is going to be cool. But we still want to see that extra call within the next 7 days or so. What we doing? What we doing? She the hardest out, ain't she? We'll keep going, though. So next up, we have the Breakfast Club reacting to the events that took place in the hearing yesterday from Drake's, pretrial conference and all that stuff going on with UMG. And of course, they're reacting to the advent of Not Like Us Bop Talk being taken out of the lawsuit. Here is what they have to say. And of course, as it pertains to Breakfast Club, we do not show their videos because that is a copyright problem. Got to play the audio.
Universal Music Group. So yesterday, Judge Jeanette Vargas in New York denied Universal Music Group's request to stay discovery. So Universal Music Group was saying, yo, can you pause on this whole discovery, letting us let Drake and team get into our business until we explore the motion to dismiss this whole thing that they have asked. They want it thrown out. They say it's BS. He's just mad because he lost a rap battle.
Right.
A judge said, well, we're still going to, that motion to dismiss, it's still going to happen, and they set a date for that. But no, I think that the discovery thing can happen and should happen. So I'm not going to say that we're going to stop it. This is a big deal.
What that mean now, though?
That means that Drake and team can go in and do what they've been saying that they wanted to do for a very long time. They can go in, they can look at contracts, including things that are in relation to Kendrick Lamar, emails, phone conversations, basically just come in and get all in the business of communications and processes and operations and all of that stuff.
I seen that yesterday.
For UMG.
So they'll be able to get Kendrick's contract to UMG, his signing contract and his deals and all that? That sounds crazy.
Well, they haven't done it yet. They just got the go-ahead to be able to move forward. And I don't know specifically which contracts they're asking for, but I think that I don't know why would they need a signing contract.
So to clarify, they have not gained clearance to have access to Kendrick's contract, nor Dave Freeze, because they say that they also want that in all of his business partners and their agreements with Universal. What they have is the go-ahead from the judge to begin the discovery process, which they can make requests, right? UMG didn't want them to be able to do that because they felt like the case was going to get dismissed anyway. They wanted to get it dismissed outright, right? They still have their motion for dismissal on the table that will be spoken about on another day. However, what Drake and his team can do is request, and they have about 16 individual requests that they have. They have about 53 individual people that they want to bring in for depositions, right? But what UMG has is they will have the ability to file oppositions to motions for discovery about specific requests made by Drake and his legal team. So it's not just this is not a floodgate opening and they just get to catch everything within the net and start sifting through. They're not gonna receive a briefcase full of fucking documentations and read what they want, okay? Which I did not plan on talking about this because I'm still waiting for Drake's team to produce actual paperwork stating that we won't see the bot talk in. I'm waiting on the amended complaint. But since this is starting to catch legs and people keep talking about it and want to talk about it, then we have to talk about it as accurately as possible, right? So when Drake and his team say, we want to see this, we want to see this, we want to see this, UMG will have the opportunity to say, hey, judge, I don't think that this is necessary. We don't think that this is necessary. We don't think that they are within asking power to ask for this. This is not relevant to the case. This is unmeritorious. You know what I'm saying? All of the different things that they can say, and the judge will determine, okay, cool, y'all can have this, y'all can't have that. You can have this, y'all can't have that. But the way that this is starting to be covered, and I'm not going to say it's irresponsible, but it's erring on the side of irresponsibility because everybody wants to be a part of the conversation. Everybody wants to get the headlines and all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, even if I'm not the biggest fan of Drake, I have to say things, whether they're in his favor or not, as it pertains to this legal matter. Right? It's not my job to manipulate the information in favor of my personal bias. I don't do that with anybody. Some people say I do that with the Megan and Milagro thing. No. If I felt that Megan was wrong in her ask of the defamation suit that she filed, I would say, yo, Megan, that's a little bit, nah. But they have proof of an actual paid hate campaign against her. This person put out a fake sex tape of her. That is harassment. So whatever comes to Milagro in that case, that's on her. As the information comes out and only confirms what I was already thinking, I'm going to say it. Same thing with this, right? So Drake caught a little bit of a dub because UMG wanted this shit to get tossed. It didn't. Or at least the stay for discovery, that is what they wanted. They didn't get it. So now the process will continue. Drake is going to be asking, they're going to be denying, and a judge is going to have to say yay or nay at the end of the day. Again, it's going to be a dance. If y'all are not here for the dance, don't buy tickets to the dance. Don't wear your dancing shoes, you know? But this is going to be an ongoing thing, ongoing conversation. And I just want to try to at least be as close to the truth as possible. And when I say as close to the truth as possible, I mean there are going to be some things that I just don't understand. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a paralegal. So my legal brain is very limited. All I can do is give y'all the information, do my best interpretation of, and we discuss it.
They're gonna discover that they don't already know though. That the machine puts a little extra oomph behind records that are already moving, just like I'm sure they're doing with Nokia right now.
Yeah. Well,
it's the truth though. Like, what are they gonna find out?
I think what they trying to go in and find out is like any wrongdoing of the machine making oomph and all that stuff.
That wrong. If it's wrongdoing, then it's typical record industry practices that have been going on since the beginning of time. That people like Drake have benefited from. That people like Kendrick have benefited from. That all of their artists benefit from.
But what if it's not? What if it's none? That's going. make you look crazy.
Yeah, we talked
If it
about
ain't even no foul play, nothing going on.
It's like a baseball player looking for steroids, and you're like, oh, it's the same stuff I've been using. whether you know you was using it or not.
Yeah.
No, but to Jess's point, we talked about this on the podcast yesterday, the latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Mm-hmm.
I said that if there's nothing found, he just looks like a crybaby. It just looks like, you know what I mean? But if there is things found, and it can be something small, like it could be one employee that happened to maybe send a Uber or send a gift or something that can look.
Uber.
I mean, because you have certain
You think
rules.
Kendrick Lamar getting an Uber?
No, I just mean like
Uber Black.
there's certain rules, a big one, not the little. There's certain rules around like bribery and I'm sure I don't know all the rules when it comes to radio, but I know like.
But that's not going to be in the contract. And the sad thing about it is
It's not going to be in the contract. But if you look,
No, it's not going to be in the contract for Kendrick Lamar, but they're also asking for all of the communications between the label and companies such as iHeart and all these other people, right? So iHeart, they dropped their issue. When I say they, I'm talking about Drake. They dropped their issue with iHeart in exchange for, I think they were supposed to be able to look through some shit, and they found whatever they found. They didn't say what they found necessarily. Same thing with Spotify and all them, right? So whatever they believe to be true, they're gonna try to produce information that leans into their bias or their thought process. So even though the bot talk may have dissipated or is going to dissipate in the future, they're still saying that this is a hit job in so many words, right? That they've paid all these millions of dollars. Remember, they said in that joint filing that they did just a few days ago that they believe that the Super Bowl performance, they believe that the song being played at the Grammys, the fact that it's still played on the radio, the fact that it still was used in all of these different TV commercials and etc., they felt like all of this was a continued campaign of defamation every time that this song was played. So they're going to try to look up all of the agreements with all of the different channels, outlets, etc., and try to see all of the different clearances and the verbiage around those clearances to see, did they provide incentives for this song to be on all of these different outlets? We know that the song was a hit from the moment it dropped. We know that this was as organic as it gets. The people chose this record immediately because a lot of people, including myself, was just waiting on Kendrick to deliver that knockout blow, that undeniable, this is a hit record and I'm bopping on your head. Right? And that's what we received. And now we see you get what you asked for, Drake. But that's neither here nor there, as this will continue. So that's what I've got for y'all at this point. And any updates that come down the pipeline, y'all know, come to Inside the Industry with J Nolan, and we're going to go through it, all right? Much love and respect. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, become an insider. I'll catch y'all later. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, so straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.